when they swept a series in this ballpark. Bob and FP, and we kind of go on the road with heavy hearts because it's tough to lose a guy like Trey Turner, not only because of what he does on the field. He's a respected guy in the clubhouse and one of the most exciting young players in the game.
Well, he's the engine that makes his team go, so now you're going to rely on somebody else. But yesterday, a tough loss for the Nats, but a tougher loss losing Trey Turner. You go back to the inning it happened. You see the fastball, 96 miles an hour. Pedro Strop off his wrist, and we're thinking, geez, we hope he's all right. It looked bad at the time. We were on the bus on the way to Dulles. We found out it was a broken wrist. But the last 32 games, he's been on fire. He's stealing bases. He's been the energizer for this team, not just at the plate, Cart, but at shortstop, too. He's been a must-watch, and now they have to deal with life without Trey Turner for a while. Yeah, that might be the one thing people are forgetting about right now, how well Trey was making some really impressive plays at short. So now we come to the next question. Who are the candidates to lead off? At least we know for tonight it's Brian Goodwin, who's done a lot of that in his professional career. Yeah, I talked to him today during batting practice. Said, you ever let off before? He said, I've let off my whole life until Trey Turner. So he's used to leading off. He's a guy that sees a lot of pitches. You see the on-base percentage for Goodwin, 347. I think you want Anthony Rendon down the lineup to drive in runs. He's a contact hitter. He's a guy that's going to put the ball in play and drive in some runs. It's just a whole different mentality if he's leading off. So I think you'll see Goodwin against righties and maybe Michael A. Taylor against lefties. Yeah, it's some good talent to be able to choose from. And Brian hitting 315 over the last couple of weeks. Not to be lost in all of this, who plays shortstop, and that's the reliable Stephen Drew tonight. Yeah, his 999th game at shortstop tonight, so Stephen Drew can get it done. Wilmer Defoe plays shortstop too. Stephen Drew, you got to watch him with that chronic ankle thing in his lower half, so he'll play some days, have some days off, but he's a proven veteran. He'll get the job done. So how many runs can the Nats score without Trey Turner? They need to score a lot, especially in the second half of ball games. The bullpen continues to struggle, and it was really a rough one yesterday. When it appeared, the Nats have won 3 out of 4 from the Cubs. Yeah, these are the tough ones. These are the losses that linger for a few days, so we'll see if the Nats can be resilient tonight and shake off yesterday. But when you look at Blake Trinan in the 7th inning this year, he's pitched 11 1/3 innings. He's got a 3.97 ERA. In the 8th inning, he's pitched 9 innings. He's got a 6 ERA. In the 9th inning or later, he's got a 7.50 ERA. So maybe he's just not cut out for the 9th inning, but he's done well in the 7th. So the Nats have lost too many games when leading with 1 inning to go, and their ERA is way too high with 2 innings to go. So we always talk about clutch hitting late in ball games. Sometimes it takes some clutch pitching as well. So now we kind of come backwards to the starters. Tanner Roark tonight. These guys have to log some more innings, and lately they've been pretty durable. Yeah, I think for Tanner Roark, this is a huge start. You remember he gave up 5 runs in the first his last start, settled down after that and pitched real well. Hopefully he takes the last couple innings he pitched last start into this start. Keep the ball down against the Cardinals, keep the ball in the yard, he'll be fine. Nats took 2 out of 3 from St. Louis at Nationals Park early in the season back in April. Since then they've been kind of scuffling. A lot of people around here say it's not Cardinal baseball. They haven't played the defense, they haven't run the bases the way they usually do, because this is an organization with great tradition of playing fundamental ball. Well, you got to take advantage of that if you're the Nats. You're only in here for 3 days, beat them up and get back home. Sounds good to us. A couple of right-handers, veteran guys on the mound tonight. Tanner Roark is 6-5 with a 5.15 ERA and looking to get people out. Mike Leake, big contract, 5-6 with a 3.12. More from St. Louis. Straight ahead.
Baseball on NASN, brought to you by PNC Bank, for the achiever in you. It's a little muggy in the Gateway City tonight. Some rain showers midday today. It cleared out and started to become a bit of a sauna here. Ball could be flying at Busch Stadium. Pretty fair ballpark as far as the dimensions. In fact, not a whole lot different than Nationals Park in its dimensions around the warning track. So it's 86, humidity 48%. And the Nats have Brian Goodwin leading off tonight. Washington 278, first in the league, as well in runs and in homers. Stephen Drew, 5 for 9 career against Mike Leake. 3 RBIs to go with it. And Stephen, who's batting 7th tonight, 10 for his last 22 in 11 games with 7 runs batted in. Leake beat the Nats, salvaged a game for St. Louis in D.C. earlier. 4-5 career against Washington, 12 starts, ERA 4.24.
It's time for your Coons.com scouting report. Over 2 million vehicles sold and counting. Fastball, cutter, slider, changeup, curveball. Guys got tons of pitches. We'll get into the velocities. Don't stop the Leak. He's a team-leading 4-game losing streak, so Nats trying to make it 5. Don't take off Leak. Got 20 walks in 98 innings. He throws lots of strikes, none of them over the plate. He's a guy that shaves corners, keeps the ball down. You got to try to elevate the ball off him. He gets a lot of ground balls. The numbers are good on this season. Lefties hitting a little better than righties. Off Mike Leake. Here we go. Play ball.
Leake overall 5-6, 3.12 in 15 starts. And at 8:15 Eastern, it's strike one to Brian Goodwin. Facing Leake for the first time. He was still in the minor leagues when the Cards visited the Nats early in the season. That ball's well hit out to center. At the wall, it is caught by Tommy Pham.
And that was a home run. He went over the wall, I think. Let's watch it again together. Might have had distance. You see him check the wall. He feels the track underneath his cleats. He jumps. And I believe that would have been a leadoff home run for Brian Goodwin. Tommy Pham with a tremendous play to start this game up.
Now a strike to Michael A. Taylor. He takes a breaking ball. It's off the glove of Jerko. And Michael A. Taylor is aboard. And the Nats have gashed it twice here already. Base hit all the way. And
there goes a no-hitter.
Thank you.
Sorry, I mean, the action is fast and furious in this one. First, Brian Goodwin almost hits a tater to start it up. Then Michael A. Taylor hits a bullet off Jed Jerko. Things moving fast. Ball's moving fast off the Nats' bats right now. Hitting some barrels here early.
Bryce Harper 3 for 16 career, but 2 home runs against Leake. And Bryce hitting safely 18 of his last 21 games. Taylor 9 out of 12 stealing. And of course Yadier Molina behind the plate, not having the big defensive year he usually does. And a ground ball to the right side. Pretty obvious what the scouting report is. And that's a situation where Paul DeYoung, the young shortstop, threw the ball way off target, and Bryce Harper went down hard. And that's the next least thing the Nats need to happen to them.
I'm looking at the replay, and we're going to keep you with Bryce, but I'm looking at the replay, and I didn't see anything crazy when he hit the base. We'll show you real quick. Looks like a cramp after the base, if I had to guess. I don't know. And if you've ever cramped up before, that can really hurt. So we're hoping it's just a cramp. I mean, he wasn't running great out of the box. And if you remember in the Cubs series, he played as hard as I've seen him play for 4 games all season. So I don't know if he's sore from that. But and I don't see anything out of the box that would indicate that he pulled something on the swing. But he broke down about, what, 2 steps after the base, Carl?
Yeah, he was slowing down on approaching the bag, no doubt about it.
But he's rolling his ankle around down there right now, so maybe it hit the base funny. All right. Here's real speed, and watch his foot on the base, because he's playing with his ankle down the right field line right now. That's weird. I didn't see his ankle roll. I didn't see it hit the base funny, and I hope he's okay. Uncle on this injury stuff, man. Uncle. He's stretching like it's a cramp. That's what you do when you feel something cramp up. You start stretching it.
Well, let's hope he gets to the bag and stops. And it looks like Bryce is okay to stay.
Tell you what, if you've ever had a cramp, it kills you for a little bit. And I think that's what it was. I didn't see his ankle roll. I didn't see him pull up before the base. He's talking to Matt Carpenter right now. Have you ever had a cramp like that? Okay, breathing easier. Everybody breathe easier. Together. Deep breath.
Cleanup man Ryan Zimmerman.
Jeez Louise.
Leak with a strike. 19-year veteran Mark Carlson has the plate. 8 years for Manny Gonzalez at first, 4 for Chris Siegel at second, and the crew chief third base Field and Culbreth, 25th year in the major leagues. Zimmerman 5 career hits, a homer against Leak. Breaking ball, he takes it, 1-1.
Defense for the Cardinals. You already saw Tommy Pham rob a home run. Grichuk, Piscotty both sides of him. DeYoung, Jerko left side. Garcia, Carpenter right side. And Yadier Molina behind the plate.
Another take by Ryan, 2-1.
Ryan tell himself to stay back after he took that pitch. You see that little. I'm watching Bryce's secondary. He looks okay.
Home run trot in front of Zimmerman would be just fine. So he's there with 2 outs. That's a breaking ball. Ryan well out ahead of it. And Bob Henley. Soft hands, 2 outs. So 2 strikes and 2 balls, 2 outs.
Pretty good numbers against the Cardinals, I'd say. It's a throw over, I believe. Maybe. Nope.
Ryan went around, breaking ball way outside. And Zimmerman will not have to be tagged. That's it for the Nats in the top of the first. first inning. St. Louis hitting .253, 7th in the league, 11th in runs, and 9th in home runs. Tommy Pham, we've seen him down in spring training the last couple of years, but now he's a big leaguer, 4-game hitting streak. Matt Carpenter won for his last 10. Their hottest hitter is the young shortstop Paul DeYoung, 8-game streak, and Tanner Roark, 4 games, 2 starts against St. Louis career.
It's time for your Coons.com scout report. Over 2 million vehicles sold and counting. You know the arsenal of Tanner Roark. First things first, first inning ERA for Tanner this year, 8.44, 15 earned runs in 16 innings. So get off to a good start of this one. And baby your money, little swingers line right there. Swing back the fastball to the lefties. That's the key for success. They're hitting .301 against him this year.
Matt Carpenter in there. Strike one.
Remember his last start, he pitched well after a 5-run first, gave up just 1 more run, settled in, gave up 6 total last start. But he is looking for a good one right here, right now.
Carpenter at .230. He's been more of a power hitter for the last 3 years. And he's 1 for 5 with a walk career against Tanner Roark. Mark Carlson not liking the outside edge area just yet. Mike Maddox watching Tanner go out for his 17th start of the year. Off speed on the breaking ball, 3-1.
So before tonight, Tanner Roark had thrown 831 pitches to left-handed hitters, 503 strikes, 328 balls. That's a 60% strike rate to lefties, and they've been hitting .301 against him. Last year he owned lefties, and he was all over the strike zone. So that, I think, is the key to his success moving forward, is throwing strikes to lefties, pounding the zone, keeping the ball down, and being aggressive. All the cliches, but that's what he needs to do, and Mike Maddox knows it.
Mark Carlson setting up over the right shoulder of Jose Lobaton, so Tanner got the call on that side of the plate. 3-2 to the game's first hitter for St. Louis.
Nats defense tonight. Here it is. Goodwin, Taylor, Harper, your outfield. Drew Rendon left side. Murphy Zimmerman right side. Jose Lobaton behind the plate. Stephen Drew at shortstop tonight. There he is. Game number 999 at that position for Stephen Drew.
3-2, and Carpenter pops it up into the seats. A lot of empty seats. Look at the upper deck in left field. A lot of empty seats upper deck right field. A little surprising. They're usually right behind the Giants in average attendance in the National League. Dodgers, Giants, Cardinals always the top 3. Carpenter, another foul ball.
Yeah, right in your lineup card out today. It just looked weird writing 230 next to Matt Carpenter's name.
Yeah, as high as 318 in 13. Then he's gone 272 twice, 271 last year. He used to be a guy who took a ton of pitches, but hitting for more power the last 3 years. That's ball 4.
Pretty close. Jose Lobaton having a chat with Mark Carlson as we show you the replay. He reached for it, but it was close to being in the box.
So a 9-pitch at bat to start the game. And next up is Tommy Pham. First time against Roark. Pham 5 for his last 12. Durango High School, Las Vegas. He's 28 years of age. This guy was in the minor leagues for 9+ seasons. Former shortstop. And the 0-1.
What was the mascot at Durango High School? What do you think?
I don't know.
The Mustangs, maybe?
Durango Mustangs?
Yeah. Durango slot machines?
Bryce might know.
The Trailblazers?
Matt Carpenter, a leadoff guy, 1 steal. He's been caught once. Cardinals 41 stolen bases, 9th in the league. Of course, with Dexter Fowler out of the lineup, they're not nearly as fast as they usually are. And Fan takes it the other way.
It was so important for Tanner to get off to a good start tonight. You see the elevation of the pitch, it's up. And Pham with a nice inside-out swing, using the hole created by the leadoff walk. And when you've had a couple of rough ones where you've given up runs big time in the first inning, you just want to get back in that dugout as quick as you can. And just put all those demons to rest. You know, you're thinking about it. It's going real fast in your mind. It all takes one good pitch and a ground ball and relax a little bit.
Yeah, 5 runs by the Reds Sunday in the first inning on 5 hits and a walk. So averaging almost a run every time out. Stephen Piscotty, the right fielder's next. And this ball in the air, foul ground, right side, long run for Ryan Zimmerman, and it's just over the tarp and the front rail.
Good hustle. Good effort. Trying to help Tanner out, make a sweet play, just ran out of room.
And the high fastball, Piscotty held. Nats have turned the 4th most double plays in the league, 80. And a tapper. Rendon's got 1 play, and that's first base. Productive out, and 2 runners move up, 1 down.
Well, this is a situation where even though it's the first inning, you have to give in if you're Tanner Roark. Yadier Molina knows how to drive in a run, but you got Jed Jerko up right now, first base open, and a double play candidate big time on deck in Molina. 31 RBIs on the year total. So you don't necessarily have to pitch for the strikeout right here. You can 0-2 Jed Jerko, meaning throw every pitch like it's 0-2, try to get him to fish, and if he doesn't, maybe you got a double play on deck. You try to make your pitch the best pitch you possibly can. That's teases the strike zone, looks like a strike, not a strike.
Big curveball, and he wasn't biting, but Manny Gonzalez says he was, and he did go.
Well, this is what I'm talking about, Carp. This is an 0-2 pitch, right?
Yeah, good one.
You know, a curveball that teased the strike zone. Jerko's anxious. It's the first inning. He's got all his coffee and Red Bull in him. He wants to drive in some runs. So what do? You prey on that adrenaline. Your first at-bat's always the toughest. You got to harness the energy.
I think the Nats got a call there. 1-1, and Roark low and away.
It's a gamble to put another runner on for Yadier Molina, but it's the right move if he does it.
Yeah, he's geared up to try to drive something in here. So Jerko, who has 39 RBIs, has a count of 2-2.
Watch Nissan on the pitch cast. Nothing in the strike zone. See? He's just teasing it. Look, oh, looks like a strike out of the zone. So now 2-2. You don't want to be greedy here because you got 2 strikes, but same way. Make something look like a strike, break it out of the zone. It's a good pitch. Second pitch coming for Tanner here in the first.
Yeah, 9 of them to Carpenter on that leadoff walk. 3-2.
Good time for that curveball again. The same one he swung at twice. Throw it. If he swings, he swings. If he doesn't, move on to the next guy.
There it is. And the line drive caught and then dropped, but he was trying to make a throw. Stephen Drew thinking about a 6-4 double play, so he did catch the ball and then dropped it on the exchange. 2 outs.
I'll tell you what, Tanner Roark couldn't have executed the game plan any better to Jed Jerko with second and third, 1 out. I mean, he did exactly what we said he was going to do. He just teased the strike zone. He went 3-2 curveball right there. Jerko was saying, I'm going to drive in these runs no matter what. He chased ball 4, broken bat to Drew, and now he can decide whether he wants Molina or Randall Grichuk on deck.
Yadier Molina loves to hit the ball the other way. Weeder's going to take him upstairs in there, rather Lobatone upstairs in the first one. Every time I see a catcher set up high, I think it's Matt. But Jose, the same approach there, working with Tanner tonight. And it's in there with 86, 1-1. Molina, 14th year. He's on a long hitting streak right now, the longest one in the major leagues at 14 games. He's had 3 long streaks this year. 3 for 6 career against Tanner. Perfect fastball outside edge. Early game notes. So the Nats have beaten St. Louis 8 of the last 11. It was a nightmare before that. Good all year long on the road. And Molina, 18 hits in those 14 games.
This is where I think he gets more dangerous. 37 strikeouts on the year. He spreads out, chokes up, and goes the other way. I always thought he was a better hitter with 2 strikes. See that approach? And he'll take a chance of driving a ball left center early in the count or even out of the yard. But when he gets to 2 strikes, he starts thinking pepper to right. Watch how short this swing is. Fastball up, tries to get on top, but he's just trying to pepper the ball to right field. We've seen it a million times.
Pretty well hit to center. Michael A. Taylor is there. It took a while, but Tanner Roark, 2 on, nobody out, battles back to put a 0 on the board.
ballpark, getting out of that first inning unscathed. Go to the top of the second. You can celebrate America's 241st birthday at the ballpark. Is there still tickets for this? You better swoop them up, because this is the ball game of the year. Patriotic Series presented by SAIC. Nats take on the Mets, 11:05. Visit nationals.com/tickets. Be part of the tradition, the 11 o'clock 4th of July game at the ballpark. Where else would you rather be before you watch the fireworks at night?
Unbelievably great way to start a holiday. Here's Daniel Murphy. 368 his last 29 games. 2 hits away from 100. Leak, ball 1 away. Daniel 250 against the righty, 6 for 24 with a homer and 4 batted in. Mike Leake, first inning, things happen quickly. 10 pitches, 8 strikes.
The pitch is down. Daniel Murphy's asking, is that the bottom of the zone? He's having a chat.
That was further down, 2-1. That is right over the bag and into the right field corner. Hustling is Piscotty. Nothing he can do. Daniel Murphy has his 40th extra base hit. And he's on that doubles chart, 24 of them now. That's the 3rd most in the league.
Well, he's disgusted by the fact that he hit a ground ball. He's fired up that he's got himself a double and he's 1 for 1. Does not like to hit the ball on the ground ever. Was that him yelling on the replay right on first? It sounded like his voice. It wouldn't shock me if he was yelling something.
Anthony Rendon is next. He's been great this year with runners in scoring position. 27 RBIs his last 32 games. And Leake almost threw it away.
A lot of people wondered if Anthony Rendon was going to lead off, but I think Dusty Baker doesn't want to break up the core of his lineup. When you talk about Harper, Zimmerman, Murphy, Rendon, that's the foundation. I mean, obviously going to miss Trey Turner big time, but when you have 3, 4, 5, 6 with 18 home runs, 19 home runs, 14 home runs, 16 home runs, everybody right around 300 or above, I mean, you're okay. You're going to be okay. The foundation of your house is sturdy.
Rendon, a high fly ball to center. Tommy Pham has 6 assists, but he's way too far out there to do anything about Murphy going to third. So Rendon gets a big piece of that one to put a runner at third base, 1 out.
Nice piece of hitting. Team at bat, moving the runner, nicely done. So you sprinkle in a Goodwin, you sprinkle in a Taylor, you play Stephen Drew occasionally, you know, maybe 4 days out of 7, 5 days out of 7, keep his legs underneath him. You're okay. Even though we all love Trey Turner and he's one of the most exciting, if not the most exciting player in the league, the foundation for the house is okay.
Yeah.
They're going to be okay. And Trey, we wish you a happy birthday. We're going to miss you. We love watching you play every day.
Infield in.
And we hope you recover as fast as you run.
Now that would be great.
And happy 24th birthday, as happy as it can be.
Early in the ball game, Mike Matheny bringing his infield in. 2-0. And Drew, contact play, simple throw. And Murphy out by a bunch.
Well, I think you have to go contact play right here for a number of reasons. You're getting to the bottom of the order, Jose Lobaton and then Tanner Roark, so you got to take a chance early in the ball game. And Daniel Murphy with a good break. Vic Garcia with a perfect throw, easy out.
Jose Lobaton, the number 8 hitter. Foul.
Some of the Nats injuries on the injury report. Sammy Solis transferred to the 60-day DL today. Coda Glover's got all kinds of things going on. Hope Sean Kelly's back soon. Jason Worth after the break. And Adam Eaton for Game 7.
I hope a Game 5 and 2 Game 7s maybe. 1-1 to Jose Lobaton. 137 from the left side this year. Jose overall 10 for 71. Matt Wieters getting the night off. He was grinding in that Chicago series. 2-2. All 4 games against the Cubs. Target away. And Mark Carlson not liking that side of the plate. We saw that right from the very first at bat today. 3-2, and that gives Drew a head start at first. He's going to ring him up on that one. Second strikeout by Mike Leake. Nats have had some base runners. 2 stranded so far.
Look forward to Miller time later in the ball game. That's brought to you by Miller Lite. More dead flowers. Awesome. The scores, we go to the bottom of the second.
Yuck. Nats road ahead, driven by your local Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyFirst.com. Fox tomorrow for Gio and Waka. ESPN Sunday for Scherzer and Martinez. Big time matchup there. Then your humble local broadcasters will join you for the entire New York series. And make a note, 6 o'clock Monday, 11 a.m. Tuesday, WUSA 9 will be with us.
Yeah, our game's at 6 on Monday. And Tuesday, you know what time it is, 11 a.m. Be there.
Randall Grichuk, the left fielder. Tanner Roark, first inning, 28 pitches, 18 strikes. Busted bat, circling behind it, Drew. A play he's made hundreds of times, and Ryan Zimmerman stays on the bag. Well done on both ends.
Yeah, Grichuk can run a little bit, so Drew knew he had to get rid of this ball quick. Didn't get out of the box real well, so that gave Steven Drew an extra click. Just gets it up in the air. I'm telling you, for those of you that didn't see Steven Drew in his prime as the shortstop for the Diamondbacks, he was one of the best defenders in the National League for a period of a few years, and he still can pick it.
Here's the young shortstop, Paul DeYoung. He was at AAA Memphis when the Cards visited D.C. in April. Hit .299 there, 13 homers, 34 RBIs in 48 games. He's only 23 years of age, out of Orlando. And of course, Johnny Peralta no longer here. Cardinals shook up their roster a couple of weeks ago. They let their third base coach Chris Maloney go, and Peralta went, and they made some changes on the coaching staff on the heels of an 0-7 road trip.
Sent Aledmys Diaz down yesterday.
Yeah,
their shortstop, leading the team in hits.
One of the better young players in the league last year.
They said he had tears in his eyes in the clubhouse when the media talked to him after the game. He didn't expect it. It blindsided him, and he said, I'll just go down there and do the best I can. And they asked him if he was all right with the move, and he said he'd rather not comment.
There's Luke Voigt on the left, a local kid. Alex Mejia, an infielder, recently called up. And a 1-2 with one out. Tanner Roark, great location, and a couple of quick outs in the second. First strikeout of the night. Mercedes-Benz will pitch Keston.
I like it. Tanner's talking to himself early in this one. He got through the first inning. That's all he needed. Get through the first, and now you go. Like a little cutter maybe on the outer half for strike three. 95 miles an hour.
Second baseman Greg Garcia hitting .202.
Such a good ballpark. I mean, I can't walk into this yard without thinking of 2012 in the playoffs. I mean, that's all I see when I come in here. You remember we walked into the hotel across the street and they had congratulations Nats signed up in the lobby. And he came over here for the workout, and it was 2012. It was also new. We were just looking at each other going, is this really happening right now?
Strike call on the inside edge. Ballpark opened up in 06.
Yeah, that's a great yard. I mean, our view from here is ridiculous. Just looking at the skyline of downtown, the big silver McDonald's thing over there.
Tanner on the changeup drops it in.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Those structures, if you weren't with us last year, are actually across the street from the left field bleachers. Breaking ball down and in, 3-2. Greg Garcia, 27 years of age, from El Cajon. Played at the University of Hawaii with Colton Wong. There's the Gateway Arch.
That's the big McDonald's thing. Big silver McDonald's thing. What do you call it? The Gateway Arch? I would just thought that was a big McDonald's over there.
It's actually called the Jefferson National Expansion Memorial. And you can see folks up in the windows up there.
Take me to your leader.
630 feet high.
It's a UFO.
3-2. Inside, and the pitcher will bat. Still feeling for that inside fastball command to the lefties.
Mike Lee can hit a little bit.
He can. 200 career with 6 home runs. He can. 5 for 32, 2 RBIs this year. Nats beat St. Louis 14-6. April 10th, Roark beat Wainwright 8-3 on the 11th. Gio beat Lance Lynn, and then Leake got the best of Max Scherzer on the 12th, 6-1. Although Max only gave up 1 earned run in that game. Two-0. Tanner was headed for a possible quick inning. So the first time around, St. Louis goes 1 for 6 with 3 walks.
Yeah, I saw Jose Lobaton put down the 1 on the 3-0 pitch, and it was like, let's go. It was one of those, you could tell by the way he put the finger down. Let's go after the pitcher. So that's a good 20-second timeout. Regroup, reset. Don't let the wheels come off just because you walk the pitcher on 4.
Strike call to Carpenter up in the zone, tailing away. 9-pitch walk to lead off the bottom of the first.
Pretty good run back on that pitch, just a little bit up.
Low with the curve.
Well, you figure this is a fastball, and Matt Carpenter's figuring this is a fastball. Because when you miss with the off speed, he's sitting on it. You go change up here 2-1 if you want, but if you do throw the heater, just locate it. Keep it down.
So he throws the hook. 2-2.
Wow, that's a good pitch. That's why Carpenter took it. He was thinking like I was. Got to throw a fastball here. Just missed with off speed, but they doubled up. Smart. Good frame by Lobaton to get the call too.
Fifty pitches now.
"50 pitches in 2 innings is way too much."
He was in the mid-30s before he walked Garcia and Leake. 2-2. And a ball hit out to center. Michael A. Taylor cruising for it, halfway onto the track. And each inning has ended up with a loud fly ball to center. St. Louis stranding 4, no score.
Nats Pass gives you access to all 13 July home games and Bob Carpenter's living room for just $65. Games include the big 4th of July series against the Mets and the return of Ian Desmond and the Rockies. Visit Nationals.com/NatsPass to see where Bob lives, to hang out with him in his living room. He can't wait to see you. And you get to see all the games in standing room only.
BYOE, bring your own everything.
Yeah.
Inside the Numbers, brought to you by Jeep. Nats fan hanging around. Hope that wing's better, buddy. So the Nats trying to achieve Dusty's goal of at least 15 wins every month. 30th of June. Here's Tanner Roark, 3 hits on the year. Taking strike 1. Right side, backhand, Carpenter to the bag, and Tanner Roark hustling. 1 out. First time around the order, the Nationals go 2 for 9 with a Taylor single, a Murphy double.
See, this is Brian Goodwin leadoff school right here. See how much time he gives Tanner Roark. Veteran leadoff hitters know they have to give their pitcher some time right now. So there's ways to stall before you get in the box. Let him get back to the dugout. He just had to work out of an inning. He needs to get off his feet and maybe get in the air conditioning.
Usually, and of course take the first pitch.
It's usually more important with 2 outs. But even with 1 out, if your pitcher's busting it down the first baseline, it's incumbent on you as a leadoff hitter to give him time.
Leake working quickly. Goodwin takes again, 1-1.
Another reason to give him more time. Pitcher's working fast.
That one right in on his hands. It hit his foot. Strike 2. Phillies are at the Mets this weekend. New York 2-1. Top of the 7th there. Braves are at Oakland later tonight.
Oh, that's a must-see TV.
Took me a minute to find the Braves on their cartoon out-of-town scoreboard out there.
I mean, Braves A's next. Ooh.
And the Braves lost again last night, so the Nats still lead by 9.5. Goodwin rips one and speared by Garcia. 2 down. Brent Goodwin's been robbed twice.
Well, keeping it on the barrel, good things will happen. This time, Greg Garcia robs him. First time he got robbed of a homer by Tommy Pham, if you're joining us late. Went up against the wall in center field. Was looking like 1-0 Nats right out of the gate. So all I can do is hit it hard.
Michael A. Taylor, a base hit, first time. Line drive off the glove of Jed Jerko, who placed him pretty close to the line at third. Ball one. So Bryce appears to be okay after that apparent cramp as he crossed the first base bag on a fielder's choice. Taylor's going to get a base hit. So he's got his second redirect of the night. Paul DeYoung had a chance for that at short, but Leake got a piece of it. And Michael A. is 2 for 2.
So it could have been a cramp, Carp, like we originally thought, or it could have been because of this yesterday. Remember this little misstep in right field where he twisted his ankle? See him sliding on the turf there at Nats Park. That could have tightened up, but then this is what happened his first at-bat. That right ankle hit the bag, and then he went down, and that's the same one he twisted yesterday. So I don't know if he had treatment today. It's taped up. It was a cramp. But it could have gone back to yesterday's game and what we showed you.
So Taylor at first, 2 outs this time. Quick move and he's out. That cannot happen with Bryce Harper in the batter's box. Nats are done in the top of the third.
His second hit of the night, so he's 2 for 2, maybe thinking about stealing second. We always show you his lead. They're bigger than most. He gets out to 14. Most runners are around 12, and we think it's because of his length and he's able to get back. But Mike Leake, one of the better right-handed moves. It's very quick. He's a tremendous athlete. He throws it right on the bag, and you could hear Matt Carpenter screaming, yeah, 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 once he tagged him. So StatCast powered by AWS showed you the Michael A. Taylor pickoff.
Here's Tommy Pham against Tanner Roark. No swing. Bottom of the third underway. Pham a base hit to right first time. Cardinals only hit so far. Al Roboski told me a story, Cardinals TV analyst, about Tommy Pham. Had a couple of big hits the other night that helped them win a game, but after the game he was very upset because he had struck out 3 times. Most guys these days, hey, I got a hit, a couple of hits, we won. Great night. He was not happy that he didn't make contact, and they say that's the kind of kid he is, that really wants to play the game the proper way.
Well, you should be upset if you go hat trick. I don't care what era it is.
But a lot of guys aren't. That's my point.
Yeah. Did they win?
Yeah. And he was upset. 3-1. Tanner Roark, his 4th walk. 3 of the last 4 hitters. It's a lot of pitches. When you have insight, you know how to handle your finances with confidence. Brought to you by PNC Bank. For the achiever in you, it's our regular update on 20-year-old center fielder Victor Robles. Everybody in the organization loves him. He's going to the Futures game on Sunday. Congratulations. Fantastic.
He's ready. Call him up.
Stephen Piscotty bouncing ball to Rendon first time. That was Tanner's first out of the game and a big one. 2 men were aboard with nobody out. And they were building a rally in the first inning. Pham, stolen base 9 times, and he's only been caught twice. That's the most on the team. Holding. Ball 1. Jose Lobaton, 5 out of 23. Working with his pitchers against opposing runners.
Just not used to seeing Tanner Roark go 3-0 to people consistently. And he's not used to it either, the more important part of all this. And it's driving him nuts.
He's walked 2 batters each of his last 4 starts, but in danger of number 5 here, and that's ball 4. They better pick up the ball because Pham is already around second. So that's 5 walks tonight. Tanner has not done this all year. He's had 4 twice. April 26th at Colorado, May 18th at Pittsburgh, but never 5.
Okay, so we've been watching this whole thing with Bryce a million times during the break. I think the ball might have hit him in the foot. Maybe the pinky toe of his left foot. So I don't know about the ankle theory. I don't know about the cramp theory. I'm going to go with the ball hit him in the foot theory. You see a ricochet right there? So that's what that was all about, I think. I only missed it on 10 replays. I'm not the best analyst in the league for nothing. There it is. We finally figured it out, I think. Maybe. Who knows?
2 on, nobody out. Jed Jerko.
Better late than never, right?
Yep.
Big thing is he's still in the ball game, but that scared me.
Jerko soft liner to short with runners at second and third, 1 out in the first. Tanner's biggest out. Then he expertly pitched Molina to get the fly ball. Curveball, and Jerko hasn't been able to measure one of those yet. Nissan on the pitch cast.
Yeah, keep mixing it up. Whatever feels good, throw it. You just don't want to get into the mode of I'm not throwing strikes, so I have to throw strikes, and you get away from throwing quality strikes. You lay one in there right down the middle just because you're searching. But the curveball's been his best friend so far in this one.
So after the hook, Jerko late for the heater. 2-2. Pardon me, 1-2. Full count.
Yeah, pitch number 67 coming from Tanner here in the third with nobody out. I mean, he needs a ground ball more than you could imagine.
And off Roark's bare hand. We'll never know if it could have been a double play ball. His instinct was to go for it, and the bases are loaded with nobody out.
Well, he's such a good fielder. He's made so many good plays throughout the year fielding his position. That might have been up the middle. You can't tell. This would be a good time to calm him down, have him reset. Probably frustrated after that. Dusty Baker hoping for a ground ball right at somebody.
So here's Yadier Molina. Hit it hard first time. Fly ball to center to end the first inning. And he's over eager on a big hook.
Trade 2 for a run right here for Tanner. This from a sports psychology standpoint is where you got to fight the evil thoughts creeping back into your head from previous outings. And just be in the moment. It's so easy to say up here, you know, with makeup and glasses and a tie on, but, you know, it's going real fast for him down there in front of 40,000 people. Real fast. But if you can get there, Carb, it's hard. As an athlete, when your confidence is rocked by a few bad ones, whether you're a hitter or a pitcher, now things start to go south for you in a hurry. And where does your mind go? The mentally tough ones, they stay in the moment for some way. Channel it into this pitch, one pitch at a time. Make a pitch right here. You don't think about here I go again. That's the easy way out. That's what the guys that are weak mentally do in situations like this. Here I go again. I'm having another rough one. But you got to fight that.
0-2.
And how you fight that is one pitch at a time, pitch by pitch. I'm going to execute a good low fastball right here and get a ground ball. Because that's all I can control right now. You know, whatever has happened and how the runners got out there and what happened 2 starts ago and last start, that's done. It's all I can control right now mentally is this pitch. Execute the pitch and hope that your guys help you behind you. Daniel Murphy coming in, kind of clapping his glove, saying, let's go, ground ball, here we go. They want to help him, but you got to throw strikes.
Two, nobody out. Roark continues to stay away.
But these are easy takes. You know, usually every pitch Tanner throws is a competitive pitch, meaning it looks like a strike and breaks out of the zone. Right now, these are easy takes for Yadier Molina. These pitches are not starting strikes, so as a hitter, I'm not even moving my hands on them.
Yeah. Pitchers don't want to have to throw it down the middle and see what happens, but here is such a situation, and Molina will get around that curveball and foul it off. Jacob Turner, local guy here, up and throwing for the Nats. Up the middle. That was ball 4, and Molina went out to get it to drive in 2 runs.
It looked like a curveball that just stayed up. Molina kind of tomahawks it right into center. Watch the top hand roll over. Just kind of guides it back where it came from, and just like that, it's 2-0 Cardinals.
Randall Grichuk is next. Runners at first and second. Bouncing ball to Drew first time, on which Steven made a very good running play and throw.
Yeah, the reason I just went on that whole psychological rant is because the stuff is still there. The command of the stuff isn't there. You know, he's been tinkering with his mechanics. He's been missing high at times. But, you know, when the stuff is there and the results aren't, to me, I always go to, you know, what's between the ears and how are you thinking and how are you approaching things. And if you overthink them, you start tinkering with your mechanics, you start doing this, doing that. I'm speaking from experience. You forget where you started. And you get so messed up in your own head that it's hard to get back to where you were. You're just trying to get back to 16. You're trying to get back to 15 in the years you had success. And you're looking at video and you're breaking down your mechanics. And sometimes you get so caught up in that that you forget how to be an athlete and just let it rip. And you could see, I mean, we've known Tanner for a long time, and you could see the wheels turning out there just by the facial expressions, the body language. I mean, last year was one of the best pitchers in the National League, and this year he's trying to find it. And the Nats know he will. It just hasn't happened yet.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Big hook. A badly needed first out on his second strikeout here in the third.
And the reason I say that too, Carp, is when he gave up the 6 runs last start, he turned into old Tanner Roark. And the reason he did is because the damage was already done. So it's not anything to do with physical. And right there, that's a plus curveball to get Grichuk. So it's there. He's just got to let it happen.
Next up is the shortstop, Paul DeYoung. Roark struck him out first time. Murphy shading up the middle a bit, letting Molina know that, or rather Jorko know that he's close by. He'll take this one and relay it, and beaten out by DeYoung to keep the inning alive. First and third, 2 down.
Stephen Drew going to his right, sets himself, good feed. Tanner thought he got the ground ball to end the inning, but I think Drew had to go too far to his right, and that allowed Paul DeYoung to get down the line. So trying to go damage control right here, and you figure if he just gives up 2, the way the Nats have been swinging it so far, they got a good chance.
Garcia, last time he batted, 2 outs, bases empty, and he drew a walk that led to a long second inning. So Tanner still battling. Bounces that one, and Jose Lobaton, a good stop with a runner 90 feet away. '28 first inning, 23 second inning. Really good off speed.
Yeah, good changeup.
Base hit. 3-0. And Garcia doing damage in the number 8 spot.
And a fastball up. Garcia just stayed on it, slapped it to left. Dusty Baker was on the top step and he went back down. I think he's going to give a Mike Leake. And we'll see after that. Tanner trying to work hard to get out of this third inning. Just not happening.
Leake a walk first time up. That's well hit, but Harper is right there. Bryce will lead off in the top of the 4th with the Nationals down 3.
Family and complete strangers when the New York Mets visit Astros Park from July 3rd through the 5th. Special start time on Monday is 6 o'clock. We told you that already. You know about the 11:05 4th of July game? It's the best. And then first pitch on the 5th is 7:05. So visit nationals.com/tickets for more details. That could be an interesting series.
Mazda due up, top of the 4th. And against the Cardinals, Bryce had a great series back in April. They walked him a lot. He scored a lot. Ryan Zimmerman was just starting to get ultra hot at that time. And then Murphy just being Daniel Murphy. Bryce in the batter's box when Michael A. Taylor got picked off about a half hour ago. Fielder's choice grounder, 4-6 first time. Leak with a big curveball dropping under his bat.
I feel like Mike Leake is rushing the hitters right now. As soon as they get in and they look up, he's going. Watch. He's not waiting around. You know, what do you do as a hitter? Maybe you have to put your hand up and ask for time as you get in the box, but he is really working fast. You know, Bryce has his routine and everybody else does too, but as soon as he looks up, Mike Leake is coming at him.
Yeah, not fooled by the curveball that time, and he takes his walk. 50th of the year by Bryce. Nats have their leadoff man on for the second time.
For every Nats walk, Care First, Blue Cross Blue Shield contributes $50 to support Girls on the Run DC. The Nats have drawn 279 walks for a total of $13,950. Care First, Blue Cross Blue Shield encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle.
First time up, Ryan Zimmerman struck out on that big curve. He's going to feather that one through the right side of the infield. It sits slowly, so Harper easily to third. And just like that, the Nats have a corner situation. Ryan Zimmerman's 92nd hit of the year.
Well, it's perfect speed to go first to third, nobody out. So you score 3 runs and then you walk the leadoff hitter. And Bryce Harper is going hard into third base. So the toe's okay. What we thought was an ankle, then a cramp, turned out to be a toe. So we finally got it right. And the most important thing is Bryce is running full speed.
And here's Murphy, who doubled right over the first base bag to lead off the second. And he gets a similar pitch to the first time up.
Yadier Molina backhanded that ball going toward Daniel Murphy. It was called a strike. And maybe it's in the box, but watch how it's presented by the catcher. And that's called a strike.
Mercedes-Benz on the pitch cast. 0-1. Murphy, the tying run, up and away. So that was double number 24, extra base hit number 40, and hit number 99 for Daniel Murphy. Left side, double play ball. A run will score, and the Nationals are on the board.
They don't see that too often from Daniel Murphy, a guy that hits the ball in the air. He's having trouble elevating off Mike Leake. But the Nats will take the run. Not how he wanted to do it, but a nice answer.
Anthony Rendon trying to start things over here with 2 outs. There's Adrian Sanchez. You saw him there, number 5, just called up today. Front door on the breaking ball, low. Turner continues to toe the mound out in the bullpen as Rendon rips one left side. Jed Jerko. Cardinals defense has been very good tonight. Fourth inning of Nationals baseball brought to you by the all-wheel drive RAV4 Toyota. What drives you? Visit buyatoyota.com for great deals, and Stan the Man's ready to hit one into the sunset. Unlimited baseball break brought to you by T-Mobile. Mike Trout, batting practice on the field today, making his comeback from thumb surgery. They say he's been hacking pretty well in the cage. Dustin Fowler, what a sad story. Major League debut last night, ran into the rail over on the first base side, ruptured his patellar tendon. Howie Kendrick back on the DL for the Phillies, and Nick Williams, highly thought of prospect, called up.
Did you see the game was delayed in Milwaukee tonight because a fan threw a ball on the field and it hit umpire Joe West in the head?
Wow.
So they had to delay the game. He got hit in the back of the head with the baseball. Crazy.
Nats are into their bullpen now. 26-year-old Jacob Turner, born in St. Charles, Missouri, not far west of here. Went to high school in what they call the West County area of St. Louis, right out where Max Scherzer did. And so we go bottom four, and Matt Carpenter up there hacking.
On fastball mid-90s. Curveball probably the best secondary pitch. Looks an occasional slider, an occasional change.
Carpenter 1 for 3 career against Jacob. So Tanner Roark goes 3 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, walked 5, struck out 2, 85 pitches, 46 strikes. Max Scherzer gets the Sunday night game against Carlos Martinez.
Be a lot of petrol in that game. Martinez fastball upper 90s. Max is the same.
Gio and Michael Wacha in the Fox game tomorrow. Carpenter 0 for 1 with a walk, 2-1 pitch, and he jacks that one to right center. Gonna roll all the way to the wall. Picked up by Taylor. And the Cardinals have out-hit the Nationals now 5-4. Tommy Pham is next.
played half his song with that trip to the mound. He got a good chunk of his walk-up music.
Single, walk, run scored. And Jacob Turner moves him back in their first matchup.
Oh, it's a big appearance for Jacob Turner. His job is to keep it a 2-run deficit and maybe get a win out of this.
Chopper, Rendon, runner will hold. 1 out.
And on top of that, in the first game of a 3-game set, saved the bullpen for the series. So there's a lot of things Jacob Turner can accomplish here tonight with a good outing.
Next up, he'll face Stephen Piscotty for the first time.
Does Stephen Piscotty have any fighter pilots in his family? Because he just walked up to danger zone.
Well, he has a degree from Stanford in atmosphere and energy engineering.
So you go up to Kenny Loggins?
I think that was one of Kenny's more rocking offerings right there. That wasn't House at Pooh Corner they were playing. 0-1 to Piscotty. He is 0-4-1 with a walk.
Maybe he plays volleyball on the beach with his shirt off or something. I don't get that walk-up song.
One. Drafted by the Dodgers out of high school in California. Instead went to Stanford. All Pac-12. Infielder, outfielder, pitcher for the Cardinal.
And has a cookie named after him.
Those are the ones you eat on the plane when you've got nothing else to turn to.
I'm killing myself over here. Travel day, no sleep. Reel it in.
That was a nasty breaking ball, and not much Jose Lobaton could do with it. And the wild pitch puts Carpenter on third.
That was about a 52-foot slider from Jacob Turner. Jose Lobaton tried to get over and block it. 5-hole. And now got a pitch for the strikeout, and Dusty Baker bringing his infield in.
Can't afford to fall behind too much farther. Slider right down the middle. Three-two with 1 out. Another walk, and that's 6 on the night given to St. Louis. Turner's first, and he'll face Jed Jerko.
Well, obviously looking for the ground ball right here. That two-seam fastball in place as he keeps it down. He'll take the double play and get out of Dodge unscathed.
Jerko 0 for 3 career against Jacob. Good heater, 94 by him.
Down and in, perfect. Tough pitch to elevate for Jerko.
Jerko .358 with runners in scoring position this year. That ball is crushed out to right center. Ground rule double. Nats get a break. That keeps Piscotty at third. But it's 4-1.
I think it was a fastball up about 96. And Jerko with a nice approach, inside out swing, trying to drive the ball the other way. And the Cardinals in business here again in the fourth. You know, I talk about it all the time. I'm going to talk about it again. Those late inning losses have a tendency to linger. And there's only so many times you can take those as a ball club where you feel like you've worked hard enough to win a ball game, and then the script is flipped in the last 10, 15 minutes of the game. You know, Dusty always talks about winning the getaway game, easy for me to say, and then having the happy flight after it.
Yeah.
And that can linger too. So yesterday's loss, and I was wondering how they would react today. You know, it's the sixth time they've blown a lead in the eighth inning or more, and those start to fester, and the more they happen, the more they have a layover to them.
There's Molina, who's 1 for 2 with a 2-run single, taking his hitting streak, longest in the majors this year, to 15 games. At least longest in the majors at this point.
Those punch to the gut losses where the clubhouse is quiet, those have more of an effect. I mean, this club has been resilient all year, but as a team, Carpet, as a former player, you can only take so many of those before it starts to really, really, really kick in.
Taylor's throw. 6-1. One out in the fourth inning, and something's got to turn things around, and this is going to be an ugly evening in St. Louis. So, Randall Grichuk is next. 4 out of 5 Cardinals reaching against Turner. That ball is hit hard. Harper grabs it right in front of the wall. Strong throw back to first to try to get a double play.
That was awesome. Are you kidding me? I don't know. It was more impressive. The catch or the throw. Watch the route. Bryce Harper's been playing Gold Glove right field all year. Watch. Against the fence. Okay, that's great. Now watch the throw. From the wall. A strike to Ryan Zimmerman as he tries to double up Yadier Molina. What a play by Harper. What a throw. Impressive.
Here's Paul DeYoung, 0 for 2 and a foul ball.
That was impressive.
High drive left center. 8-1. That's the rookie's 6th of the year.
Okay, curveball just kind of hung right down the middle of the plate, and DeYoung was all over it. As soon as he hit it, you knew it was gone. No doubter. To make this an 8-1 game.
2-0. Tough night for Dusty. Starter goes 3. Long reliever giving up 5 here in the 4th. 3-2 pitch. Threw it by him. St. Louis sends 8 men to the plate. 5 of them score. And it's 8-1 after 4.
All right, the score isn't what you'd like it to be, but it's Friday. It's the weekend. It's brought to you by Dominion National, providing innovative, high-value dental and vision benefits to area employers and individuals. Smile! It's Friday. That's all I got. Long way to go. You never know. This team can hit.
Well done. Inside the Numbers brought to you by Jeep as we go top 5. So on the shortstop list, Stephen Drew and Wilmer Defoe. And the young man they called up today, Adrian Sanchez, who Mike Rizzo says is a plus defender. Great hands. Hitting a little better this year than he had in his minor league career. And you kind of know what those two guys give you. Good for Sanchez. He's been in the minor leagues for 10 years. And you hate the circumstances, but you're happy he made it to the big leagues.
Yeah, you always root for those guys. It's great.
That one rolled over by Drew. Carpenter to Leake, who continues to throw strikes and get rather quick outs. 12 pitches per inning, his first 4 tonight.
He's the kind of guy you like playing behind because he gets it, throws it, gets a lot of ground balls, keeps you engaged defensively, which in turn usually leads to some productive at-bats because you're not letting your mind wander so much on defense.
Lobatone with Jacob Turner next. 25 pitch inning there. Garcia.
MLB.tv every night, every device. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live. Plus, get a free subscription to App Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details.
Jacob Turner is a big league hitter, 7 for 76, .092 average. Oh for 4 this year. 1 ball, 1 strike. Two for Malik. And the breaking ball misses. That's it for the 5th inning. Leak having a nice game of catch with Yadier Molina right now. That's his 3rd strikeout. He's got a big lead and working well with it. One 4-0 Nationals. This one going to the bottom of the 5th inning. And we've got some troop recognition to take care of. We know some are in the ballpark tonight. Some of you are watching back in our mass and viewing area. We salute you, we thank you, and we honor you for your service to our country. So Navy Federal does that for us, proudly serving the armed forces and their families for over 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA. And we want all of you especially to enjoy the 4th coming up on Tuesday. .62 pitches by Leak in 5 innings, 38 strikes. Mike Leake will lead off here against Jacob Turner, bottom 5.
So that rooftop across the street, do you have to buy a ticket to the game to sit on that rooftop, or just go up there?
I don't know if it's considered an actual game ticket, but they're paying to sit up there, believe me.
That is cool.
Yeah.
That is across the street from the ballpark.
Yeah, Clark Street, which runs behind the left field bleachers, is an exact duplicate of Half Street. It's a narrow street. I think only 1 lane going each way, so it's a lot like Half Street out there.
So you do have to get a game ticket, I'm being told.
That ball is scorched by Leak to center. And Michael A. Taylor is running down some long fly balls out there tonight. Their fans will give him a nice hand for that at bat.
I'll tell you what, he lined out to Bryce last time up. He walked his first time, and then he does this. Mike Leake is an athlete.
He has 6 career homers.
Good route by Michael A. Had a beat on it. And everybody in the Cardinals bench thought he went yard. Adam Wainwright right there in the middle.
Top of the order, Matt Carpenter, 4th at bat. St. Louis just got finishing taking 2 out of 3 at Arizona. So they came home with a couple of wins in 4 of their last 5. Mike Matheny's ball club, 3.5 back of the Brewers in the nobody's making a move NL Central.
That's not what they call it. Is that what they call it?
Yeah, Brewers are 3 over 500 in first place. Cubs 1 over, a game back of them. Pirates are 4 back. Nobody really getting hot in that division yet all year long.
A 10-game homestand for the Cardinals going into the All-Star break. Nats played 3 here, come home for 7, and then they'll have, well, some of them will have a break. Not too many.
One ball and 2 strikes.
There's the Central.
It's David Bell alongside his bench coach. And Carpenter golfs one to right. Bryce is under it. 2 outs here in the 5th. That'll bring up Tommy Pham.
Pretty good crowd.
Ballpark seats almost 48,000.
I enjoyed playing in the old Busch Stadium too. And then we stayed in that hotel right across the street, and you get done with the game and open your window and you look right into the ballpark. There was no getting away from the game. You'd wake up in the morning, open up your curtains, you're looking right down the ballpark. You get back to your room after the game, open your curtains, look right down the ballpark. And we would just stay in the clubhouse for hours and hours here after games because you had to walk 10 steps to your hotel.
Yeah. No bus, no muss, no fuss.
Yeah, just get a cooler full of cold ones and we all just sit around talking baseball all night. A couple steps across the street, go up to your room. That was the routine when you played the Cardinals in the old Busch Stadium.
Yeah, it's almost as if they want you to be immersed in baseball as soon as you get here.
Yeah, and that's fine.
0-2.
The fans used to, I don't know if they still do, they would cheer you as a visiting player for making a good play. They'd ask you for your autograph on the way to the ballpark and say good luck in the game, which was weird.
That's a strikeout, swing and a miss. And Turner, a 1-2-3. Bottom of the 5th, top of the order ahead for the Nats.
Earlier in the ballgame, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. So the tone set early by the Cardinals. Brian Goodwin led this one off, and you're thinking 1-0 Nats. There goes a no-hitter, there goes a shutout. But Tommy Pham ready to play baseball from the first pitch tonight, and then Goodwin with a hard ground ball to second base gets robbed by Greg Garcia. So he could have been 2 for 2. He's 0 for 2, but he's hit the ball hard twice. So the Nats' new leadoff hitter looking to get on here and start things up.
Counts even, 1-1, top 6. Last inning, the first time the Nats didn't have a hit in a frame tonight. But they've had a runner picked off, lost one at home on a contact play. Double play took care of another, so Mike Leake's been very efficient. Michael A. Taylor has been his big problem. And the run scored on the Murphy 6-4-3 double play ball in the 4th. 1-2 pitch. Goodwin pulls it. Foul. Some of you may not have been with us during the late afternoon game. Gary Thurman coaching first base for the Nats for the last couple of days. Davey Lopes handling a family situation. We'll look forward to his return soon. That one rolled over to Garcia. And Mike Leake is on a roll here. That's 6 batters in a row, starting with the Murphy double play. That guy was a good big league ball player, Gary Thurman.
He was. Well, Mike Leake knows he just has to throw strikes and keep the ball down. Pretty simple recipe with a 7-run lead. Veteran guy, he knows what to do. Fill up the strike zone, but fill up the bottom of the strike zone consistently.
Michael A. not biting on the curveball that caught the very outside edge. Mike Leake career 78-70. 3.93 ERA, 218th start tonight, and his 13th career against the Nats, 4-5, with a 4.5 ERA against them. He's getting that outside edge now. Looks like he's at, as you say, the umpire hunting strikes with him. Taylor's got something to cover out there. Front door, and he didn't get that side of the plate after the earlier calls in this at bat. Mercedes-Benz pitch cast.
Inside. Look where Molina's set up. Yeah, he's set up inside. Off the plate.
Good at bat. Taylor on for the 3rd time. Leake's 2nd walk.
Yeah, Washington, D.C. Lexus dealers donate $250 to the Children's National Health System for the first 200 home runs hit by the Nats this season. Lexus, experience amazing. Make it a 5-run deficit right here with one of those taters.
Bryce had a 5-hit series against the Cubs. Safely hitting 18 of his last 21 games. Ground ball, a walk, and a run scored tonight. And Leake just fading the ball away from Bryce in the first 2 pitches. He's given up 9 home runs in 103 innings. So pretty stingy in that department.
Keeps the ball down.
Inside the Numbers presented by PNC. This season, a homer and a half per game. 121 by the Nats this year. The pace is just under 250, which would obliterate last year's franchise record.
They have 17 more home runs this year at this time than last year. 17 more.
Harper right at the shortstop. And a 6-4-3 puts an end to the 6th inning. Mike Leake keeping it down and totally dominating the Nats. Sixth inning, and what do you hope to accomplish the rest of the night? You want to take something positive out of it? Maybe a couple more innings for Jacob Turner, save the bullpen, and you got Gio and Scherzer Saturday, Sunday. Not giving up on this one yet, but a long way to go.
Yeah, a long way to go, and the way Mike Leake's in command right now, keeping the ball down, it just kind of got away from him early. Tanner Roark, his pitch count was up. He only could go 3 innings, and now you're hoping Jacob Turner eats up some innings. And you start thinking about games 2 and 3. If you come back and win this, it's a bonus. But now you got to start thinking about Gio and Max Scherzer and maybe sacrificing one game and having Jacob Turner save the bullpen for the next 2.
All right, Turner back to work here in the 6th. 3-4-5. Piscotty is first, ball 1. Mets and the Phillies are final. New York wins it at home 2-1. Marlins lead at Milwaukee 2-1 in the 6th, and as we mentioned earlier, Braves later at Oakland, and that's a tapper foul by Piscotty. Cardinals box score. They didn't score till the 3rd, but walks number 4 and 5, Pham and Piscotty both came around after hits by Jerko, 2 knocked in by Molina, and another RBI by Garcia. Then the DeYoung homer caps off their 5-run 4th. Right off the end of the bat and foul.
You know, I would have been shocked if the Nats came out breathing fire today after what they went through yesterday. I mean, you lost your leadoff hitter, one of the most exciting players in baseball for that matter, and the guy that makes you go. So you have that blow plus losing the game late. If they came out and they were up 8-1 right now, I would have been the most surprised guy in the room, because it's just not that easy. It's not a video game. You can't go through something like they went through yesterday and, you know, lose one of your best players, you know, your favorite guys in the clubhouse, all that, and then just come out and go, okay, let's really come out and kick some butt tomorrow. I mean, it doesn't work like that.
Three-2 got him. And Piscotty walked away. He wasn't walking toward first. Jacob Turner, 3rd strikeout, and he's retired now 5 in a row.
Good frame, get the call.
Jed Jerko's had a good night, infield hit and a ground rule double to right center. So 1 for 4 with that hit career against Turner. Target in. Missed on the other side. Four-pitch walk.
Calling all Terps. Join the Nats Sunday, July 9th as we celebrate the second of 7 college days at Nats Park with a special ticket. Maryland students, alumni, fans enjoy an outfield reserve ticket. The Maryland Nationals co-branded New Era hat. Visit nationals.com/special ticket. You know, I want bands on the field for one of these. I want the entire band on the field, like a halftime show around 6:30. Can we get that going?
I don't know if they can do it without yard lines.
No, they can do it.
I don't know if they can do it without yard lines.
Yeah, they can. I've heard they can.
Okay.
Get them out there.
Yadier Molina is 2 for 3 with 4 runs batted in.
Do they do script Maryland or anything like that? There's nothing to dot. Something. Yeah.
I don't know, but
Cheerleaders, the band. I mean, I think
we got some Maryland fans in our truck, and I think they should cross the T.
Well, Johnny
for
Holiday
Terps.
should throw out the first pitch. I know that. A legend.
There, Johnny's been working on his heater since you brought that up.
He better.
0-2 with the runner aboard. That's a wild pitch. Second by Turner tonight. High fly ball to right center. Taylor going over to cover the ground, takes it in the gap, and tagging is Jerko to third base on the second out.
So somebody asking me on Twitter, where's Davy Lopez?
I have no idea where Davy Lopez is.
We don't know where Davy Lopez is.
Davy Lopes, as I mentioned 1 inning ago, not with the ball club, dealing with a family matter.
I mean,
spread the word.
We don't know anybody by that name. Maybe somebody else can help me where Davy Lopez is.
I don't even know where Felipe Lopez is right now. He used to play for us.
I couldn't tell you where any Lopez's are.
Randall Grichuk is 0 for 3, backed up Bryce against the right field wall.
Nobody asking what Dan Coco is, though. Not one.
Boy, you just started a firestorm.
Nobody's saying, where's my Coons.com sideline report?
But it never just said that Dan would take a weekend off when we only have 1 game on the road. Fastball, good job of jamming the right-hander.
Grichuk's such an anomaly. I mean, he came up, he was such a good hitter, then kind of got into the swinging at everything. They sent him back down to the minors. Now he's come back up and done a nice job. But, you know, a guy that, John Mabry, the hitting coach for the Cardinals, a guy that got a lot of pop. I mean, when he runs into him, and he looks at times like he can be a really good player. Then other times he's just been inconsistent throughout his career.
Yeah, 276 2 years ago, 240 last year. Got a piece of that. His home run production was up 24 from 17. Right. But you know, they've always had the focal point player here in the middle of their lineup. Matt Holliday, Carlos Beltran here for a while.
Albert.
Of course, Albert before that, Mark McGwire going back and back. Right now they got a bunch of hardworking, honest, everyday players, but they don't have that one guy who's a true, you know, 30 home run, 110 RBI guy. They have a lot of good hitters, but.
So are you saying this, they were counting on him to be that guy?
No, not at all. Not him, but this seems to be the mold of the Cardinals now since Pujols left. And Holliday was here for a while, you know, but he was not a 30 home run guy, but he drove in 100 runs, and you always wondered where he was in the order. They don't really have that guy now. That ball is gashed to center, but Michael A. Taylor is in the way of another. So we go to the 7th. Turner has logged 3 innings in relief of Tanner Roark. Telecast is presented by authority of the Washington Nationals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the expressed written consent of the Washington Nationals. Friday night in downtown St. Louis.
Have you ever just butchered a disclaimer like when you first started at this? Just totally messed it up?
Yes.
Really?
But we were on tape back then, so I had to redo. But we do them live now.
I know. I mean, you're the best disclaimer reader
It
ever.
only took 11 years to get the trust of the truck. 11 years. Top of the 7th, and here's Ryan Zimmerman. 11.
There you go. Good segue, Bob.
There he is. Ryan gashes one to left, and he's 2 for 3. He's on the march to 100 hits. That's 93 now for our first baseman.
Good swing. First hit between first and second. You remember Bryce went first and third, and then Ryan just making sure this is over Paul DeYoung's head. He got up for that. Did you see that? I didn't notice that originally. Paul DeYoung can dunk. Count it.
He's got hops. Alex Mejia takes over third base for St. Louis after Jed Jerko got 4 plate appearances tonight. Here's Daniel Murphy, who has a double in 2 trips. Last time Leake had him reaching for it, and he had a double play ball up the middle.
Max on Sunday.
Now Murphy goes the other way, and they're going to try to turn 2 again. 5-4-3. Cardinals, third of the night. And the hitter with 2 outs, nobody on, is Anthony Rendon. Fly ball to center. Ground ball to the left side, on which Jerko made a brilliant play back in the 4th inning. So Anthony 0 for 2 tonight. 5 for 15 career against Mike Leake, who continues to throw it over, keeps it down, and that's 2-0. Taking all the way on that count. And this one for the shortstop, Paul DeYoung. Pretty much a clinic in how to pitch with a lead tonight by Mike Leake.
Go back to the 4th inning. You look at the home run by Paul DeYoung.
And StatCast brought to you from Fios by Verizon. Fios is not cable. We're wired differently. Go to getfios.com. Check it out. So here we go. Bottom 7, Paul DeYoung. Long home run into the left center field bleachers last time up. He's 1 for 3 tonight. That got him to a 9-game hitting streak. He's 11 for his last 37. And Michael A. Taylor continues to shag like it's BP in center field tonight. I have him with 6 deep fly balls. Greg Garcia next.
They've all been high. He's run under them, getting his work in.
Garcia 1 for 2 with a walk and an RBI single. Counts even 1-1. So Turner in his 4th inning of work. Last 2 innings, no runs, just a walk. 3 strikeouts. Trying to save the bullpen for the rest of the weekend. Leak is next. And a ball well hit to right. 3 times on base for their number 8 batter tonight.
Pete Nats will be back in town July 4th for a 7-game homestand against the Keys and the Blue Rocks. Purchase a loaded July 4th ticket package that includes an all-can-you-eat pregame picnic from 5 to 6:30. Game ticket, the biggest fireworks blasts off all season. Visit PotomacNationals.com to purchase your tickets. All can you eat.
I like it.
For an hour and a half. Gorge yourself.
Here's Lico for 2 with a walk. He's got a base hit.
Might be the best swing I've seen all year for a pitcher. Well, we didn't see Madison Bumgarner, but what a night.
Lined out hard back in the 3rd.
So lined out in the 3rd, hit a deep fly ball all the way to the track last time up, and now he had something to show. So a walk, 2 lineouts, and a base hit for Mike Leake.
Matt Carpenter 1 for 3, a walk, a double. So the Cardinals have out hit the Nationals 10-5. Carpenter's first at bat kind of set the tone for the rest of the evening for the St. Louis offense. He battled Tanner Roark for 9 pitches before walking. They didn't score in that inning, but Tanner would go on to throw 28 pitches in that first frame. Then it got even rougher from there.
I'm not worried about Tanner Roark. I just hope Tanner Roark's not worried about himself, because he's going to figure it out, and he's going to pitch some huge games down the stretch and hopefully in October for the Nats. And nobody's going to remember what happened in June or July. Nobody.
I hope you're right. 0-2. Turner's spot due up, top of the 8th. You would figure this would be it for him. The Nats are behind. They would only need 1 more inning out of the bullpen.
The Dodgers just hit their 51st home run in the month of June.
Oh my goodness.
51.
There's Joe Blanton. Dodgers are 25 games over 500. Having a hard time shaking Arizona, though, even though the D-backs lost a couple to St. Louis. Good off-speed pitch there by Turner. Had Carpenter reaching.
The Rockies lost 8 in a row. What are they doing tonight?
They were tied the last time I looked, and I think Ian Desmond had hit a home run. By the way, we'll see the Dodgers in September at Nationals Park.
I think right now they're the best team in the National League.
Agreed.
Until the Nats tweak the bullpen, and that's coming. It's going to happen. It's happened every year. Just a matter of time.
1-2 pitch, a swing and a miss. Strikeout number 4 for Jacob Turner. And then Tommy Pham is next.
Washington area Toyota dealers help children and their families by making a $37 donation to the Children's Inn at NIH for every strikeout by a Nats pitcher this season. Yeah, Mike Rizzo was talking to the Fox guys before the game today, saying, you know, of all the deficiencies to have, you know, when you have good starting pitching, a good lineup, good defense, a good bench, that's one you can fix. So they're working on it. Something's going to change, and you know, if you're going to compete with the Dodgers and you want to play deep into October, it has to change. It will. It always has. You know, last year they went out and got Mark Melancon. The Papelbon thing didn't work out, but there was effort made there. You remember Soriano in the past, so it's kind of been the theme for the last 4 or 5 years, but you have a feeling that ownership and Mike Rizzo are going to take care of business. They always have, and they will. And you want to do it here in the next month before you start getting people talking in the clubhouse and guys chirping, and you get some dissension, and that can happen when you start blowing leads late. You know, when you're doing your job and somebody isn't. It hasn't happened there yet, but that's one of the risks you take by losing games late. You don't want that to happen, and it won't, hopefully.
Want to know to Tommy Pham. Counts even. Garcia and Leak aboard here in the 7th. And out of play down the right field side.
So I'm looking at the scoreboard, and the Cardinal on the left is blinking, and I'm wondering if it's mating season and that's a ritual. Is there something going on there? Is that just showing your plumage? I don't know. It's like the Liberty Bell. You remember at Citizens Bank a few years ago? It was on the Fritz. It looked like the Bates Motel sign out there.
I'm thinking the electrical union will take care of that here in town soon.
I don't know. It's unacceptable at Busch Stadium is all I know.
2-2.
I kind of like it, though, a little bit. Adds a little flavor.
High enough not to be distracting hitters.
No, or broadcasters.
Yeah, it is rather shocking.
It is. Literally.
Turner.
I think they're trying to tell the hitters what pitches are coming.
That ball bouncing way out in front of home plate.
They're looking up there, and if it's blinking, it's a curveball. And if it's not blinking, it's a fastball.
It is the first game back from a long road trip. 3-2 runners on the move here, and another ball fouled off by Tommy Pham. And this one to Drew. Steven on the run. Took a second. Ryan Zimmerman sells it by popping off the bag. And Manny Gonzalez with the out call. We'll see if the Cardinals want to do anything here.
Steven had trouble on the exchange, and he double pumped, and we'll see. Oh, I think that's worth putting on the headphones, even an 8-1 game.
Yep. Crowd seems to think he was on the bag.
Have you ever heard of a challenge, and I haven't, I'm asking you, offend another team?
Maybe like based on the score?
Yeah, based on the score. Say it's 15-1 and they challenge. Have you ever heard of it maybe waking up a ball club? Or
yeah.
I haven't seen it.
It's a good question.
In the games we've done, but it might be part of the new unwritten rules in baseball. Here we go. That was quick.
Yeah, he's got to be safe.
I think no matter what the score is, if it's the matter of getting a hit for your guy or not, you have to challenge.
I agree.
And Dusty going to come out and make a double switch.
So Jacob Turner got the first batter this inning, but then they gave up hits to 3 of the next 4. So the Nats will be a little deeper into their bullpen here in the 7th. Cardinals on top 8-1 and a double switch coming. Baseball brought to you by Ocean City, Maryland. Put your vacation days to good use in Ocean City. Book now at OCOcean.com. The view from East St. Louis, Illinois, across the mighty Mississippi. So the Cardinals load him up on the infield hit by Tommy Pham here in the 7th, and Joe Blanton will come on to face Stephen Piscotty, who is 4 for 7 career against him.
Hey, Joe, fastball slider. He'll cut the fastball. Occasional curve, occasional change. Came in through 1 pitch yesterday.
And Piscotty tonight 0 for 2, 2 walks though, and 2 runs scored. So the bases loaded, 2 outs. And this one high in the air. Maybe playable. Long way to go. Ryan Zimmerman, a little skip and a very nice catch.
Joe Blanton all about the first pitch pop-up the last 2 days. And what a play by Ryan Zimmerman. Down by 7 runs. This is the effort you get from number 11. Gotta love it.
Well done. To the 8th we go.
For some Geico highlights, 15 minutes could save you 50% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com to see how much you could save. We're going to show you some Mike Leake highlights and some Cardinal highlights. And you know how good your ball club is? This is the first time all year we have not had Nats on Geico highlights because there's just nothing really to show. So we'll show you Mike Leake, who's been real good tonight. 3 double plays, 1 run on 5 hits. So be thankful that we don't have to do this very often.
Well said. That is Luke Voigt, who comes in to get Matt Carpenter off his feet for the rest of the night. And there's Stephen Drew, is 0 for 2. Lobaton the same to follow him, and then it'll be Wilmer Defoe after the double switch. Leake 85 pitches into this inning and 52 strikes, and as we note that outstanding ratio, he walks Stephen Drew. Inside the Numbers brought to you by Jeep. So St. Louis has made a very good living against the East this year, but 13 under against the rest of baseball, including 3-8 in interleague play. So they're 6 under in their division, 2 under against the West, and 5 under against the American League.
Jose Lobaton needs a feel-good knock right here.
Looks like Adrian Sanchez has made his big league debut as a pinch runner for Stephen Drew.
Well, that's a big deal. You're in a major league game. First time, 10 years in the minor leagues. That's huge. You get Stephen Drew off his feet. You get in a big league ball game.
I'll tell you how long he's been in the organization. He was signed when Jim Bowden was still the GM before Mike Rizzo got here. Signed with the Nats at the age of 16 in '07. And walking away is Lobaton after a strikeout. Mike Leake's 4th of the night. Right-hander John Brebbia. So we'll also get to see Sanchez log an inning in the field. 4 double plays by Mike Leake tonight and his defense. To the bottom of the 8th, this one rolls on. Cardinals and their pitcher controlling things.
Play with the StatCast machine. Make it do some work. just sitting there in the truck doing nothing. Show me how far Ryan Zimmerman went for this ball. Down by 7 runs. Look at the effort by your first baseman. 113 feet into a crow hop. Get out of the way with your stool. Still got the water bottle there, just leaving a mess all over the place. Nice play by Ryan Zimmerman. Over the shoulder. Watch the little crow hop there into the catch. That was nice. They don't give the ball boys gloves here either. They just have to fend off balls with their stools.
Adrian Sanchez stays in the play shortstop.
Oh, no, they have gloves. I see you've got the glove.
And Defoe for Murphy. He came in last inning, got an AB, now back in the field.
No, they all have gloves. That's what I'm talking about.
And this one popped up right side. Bryce Harper, long run, getting there. Fair ball, 1 out. Johnny Holiday, Ray Knight in the studio tonight. And we invite you to stay tuned for the Nats Extra postgame show presented by W.B. Mason. Now their backup catcher, Eric Fryer, will give Yadier Molina a bit of a breather after Mejia, subbing for Jerko, hit a fly ball there. Eric Fryer having a tough time offensively this year. This guy's always swung the bat pretty well. 0 for his last 16 and hitting a .156. Overmatched by Joe Blanton and the slider right there. Joe, 3 in a row.
And every time you take the mound, you're got a chance to get things right. And Joe Blanton so far the last couple of days has looked real nice. The slider's got some bite to it. The curveball's been sharp. Mike Maddox has to like what he's seeing out of his right-hander. Sometimes these situations that aren't as pressure-packed allow you to be relaxed and really work on things, build your confidence for when you have to go in there. And yesterday was a big situation.
There's a pop-up. Zimmerman calling it, and then Defoe with the better angle takes it. 7 pitches for Joe Blanton, and we're going to the top of the ninth. Top of the order, Nats down 7.
Down 8-1. One more chance for the Nats to score 9 right here. Want to win an Ain't Baseball Great t-shirt and other Massive National prizes? Follow at Massive Nationals on Twitter to see how to enter. That's at Massive Nationals on Twitter for your chance to win.
To the top of the 9th inning here, just short of 10 o'clock local time in St. Louis. That's Sam Tuivailala, 24-year-old right-hander from San Mateo, 6'3", 225. And he will take it from Mike Leake, who threw 93 pitches, 56 strikes in 8 really good innings tonight.
He will be Sam to me this inning. 96 on the fastball, slider 88, and he throws the curveball a lot at 80 miles an hour.
Ryan Goodwin 0 for 3, but robbed of a couple of hits early tonight. Fastball inside. Eric Fryer behind the plate. So Mike Matheny gets a couple of his guys off their feet for the first of a long homestand. Ball 2. And 3 heaters missing.
The last thing your skipper wants to see is a 7-run lead and a 3-0 count. He wants to see guys coming in pumping strikes out of the bullpen regardless of the score. That was an 8-1 3-0 strike.
That ball rocked into the right field corner. Ryan Goodwin's going to turn an 0 for 3 into a 1 for 4 with a double. His 5th double to go with 5 home runs in his last 18 games.
Nice. Very nice. Something to show for the night. Could have very easily been 3 for with a little luck. Like you said, gets a 3-1 heater. Boom. Short compact swing. Look at that. Foot down early. Throw the bat head. Hips, hands. Beautiful. And Michael A. Taylor going for a perfect night on base here. 2 for 2 with a walk.
Michael A. couple of hits. Got good wood on it twice. So his batting average over his last 15 games right now up around 380. By the way, a footnote on Mike Leake. Only the 3rd starter to go 8 against the Nats this season. Jacob deGrom did it in June, and on May 21st, Jaime Garcia of Atlanta, and that was in a losing effort. Strasburg and the Nats beat him 3-2. So that tells you something about this lineup. No complete games, much less shutouts against the Nats this year.
Well, it's hard to get through this lineup 3 times, and 4, forget about him.
Taylor, hard hit. That'll send Goodwin back to second. Ball hit in front of him. And the first out here in the 9th. Bryce Harper. They've been working Bryce and Murphy away most of the night, except for a couple of down and in curveballs leaked through in the dirt. Bryce once, Murphy twice, hitting into double play balls going the other way.
Cross him up.
That was a funny scramble back there by Fryer.
Yeah, you're going to go out and talk to him. Might be a little nervous facing Bryce Harper. Borderline pitch. I think Bryce loved it by the body language. Still at a 2-1 count. See what he does.
Way inside, right under Bryce's spikes. And on the wild pitch to third goes Goodwin.
Bryce's left foot is at a magnet in it tonight. You remember the first inning on the fielder's choice, the ball hit him in the left foot. This one was going for his left foot again, the other side of his shoe.
Three 3-1. And still they pitch him away.
Yeah, 8-1 walk will not endear yourself to your manager.
Ryan Zimmerman, pitcher spot next, and Adam Lind is in the on-deck circle.
Remember, he can set the franchise home run record here in 234 home runs. I mean, why not? Give us something to cheer about tonight.
I'd say go the other way and hit a phantom 3-run homer for the record.
There you go. He's trying for it.
Up and into Ryan, trying to turn on that thing. John Brebbia back up. Out of play, right side. Harper was running on the pitch.
I mean, with both games on other networks this weekend, we'd like to see it, so I'm rooting for it. We've seen most of them, right? You've seen pretty much all of them. Well, most of them.
Still remember the first one on a 40-degree night at Shea Stadium against Billy Wagner.
In his Derek Jeter stance.
Yeah.
All crouched down. Spread out. Now look at him.
0-2. And this ball hit shallow to right. Caught by Garcia. Nationals down to their final out, and Adam Lind will get an AB here. Collected another pinch hit on the homestand. He's 10 for 22 with 3 homers, 9 RBIs. Harper running, swing and a miss. 0-2.
Harper limping into second, by the way. He was decelerating on that foot. I don't know if it was his ankle or what. He's got a lot of lower half stuff going on. Watch him slow down.
Yeah, take it easy, Bryce.
Yeah, it didn't look too bad.
Swing and a miss, and the ball game is over. Well, the Cardinals in lopsided fashion beat the Nationals 8-1 tonight. For hope over the weekend, it's Gio tomorrow. Scherzer Sunday. Back with more in a moment.